Yes, and good afternoon, everyone, to all our participants and viewers in the third Jornadas ELE Manila. On behalf of the organizers, I'll be your session moderator and to introduce our speaker for the first webinar. So now, without further ado, our first speaker will present the best practices to adopt teaching ELE online and the mini tutorial on how to use some digital tools to make classes more fun and interactive. So she is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, cum laude at the Philippine Normal University, Isabela campus. She finished her Master of Arts in Education, major in English language teaching at Wesleyan University, Philippines. She worked as English instructor for 6 years at the Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. Further, she started teaching Spanish at Honorato C. Perez Senior Memorial Science High School under the Department of Education in 2009 up to the present. In 2010, she obtained DELE B1 level. Lastly, she attended several online courses in teaching ELE at Universidad Internacional Menendez Pelayo y Universidad de Salamanca. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker for this session, Ms. Gladys Sison. Let's give her a virtual warm round of applause.
Hola a todos, buenos días, buenas tardes. Antes de nada, quería agradecer a todos vosotros, especialmente el equipo que organizó este evento. Formar parte de estas jornadas es un gran placer para mí y espero que merezca yo la confianza que me habéis dado vosotros. Por vuestra información, en mi cole tenemos más de 500 alumnos matriculados en español y tenemos 3 modalidades: online, digital, and printed. In online, we have 483 students. In digital, we have 89 and only 19 under printed. Y doy clases de estas 3 modalidades, pero la mayoría es online. That is why my presentation today consists of 2 parts. The first part is the best practices, the things I do in my online classes, and the second part is a mini tutorial on how to use algunas herramientas digitales. And if we still have time, we'll have some minutes for our practice. ¿Vale? Bueno, si recuerdo bien, fue el 16 de marzo 2020 cuando nuestro país se puso en una cuarentena debido al COVID-19 virus. Y las clases estaban por acabar entonces. Y sí, el año académico acabó sin volver nosotros y nuestros alumnos a las aulas. Por eso empecé a pensar si la situación continuaría, ¿qué iba a pasar el siguiente año académico? Y de repente salió de mi cabeza: clases en línea. Sí, las clases online. Pero, ¿cómo voy a dar las clases online si no sabía nada sobre esto? This was the first challenge I had during the pandemic: how to develop my pedagogical and technological skills. Bueno, para mí, el recurso más importante a la enseñanza es el docente mismo. Soy yo. Thanks to my school for the trainings. However, aside from these trainings, I also felt the need to develop my own pedagogical and technological skills. I need to upgrade my skills and update my technical skills. So the first thing I did was to look for online trainings and I also attended webinars, and I also obtained a scholarship sponsored by the Spanish Embassy and Universidad Internacional Menéndez Pelayo. And my course was Creatividad Aplicada a la Enseñanza de ELE. I learned a lot in this course, which resulted to my best practices. Las mejores prácticas que yo hago en mis clases online. Número 1, el uso de los GIFs o emojis en mi clase. Antes de empezar mi clase, cuando yo enseño los sentimientos o las emociones a mis alumnos, yo enseño algunos GIFs o emojis a mis alumnos y les voy a preguntar, ¿cómo te sientes hoy? Y mis alumnos van a elegir un GIF o un emoji que representa su estado de ánimo. Pero si su estado de ánimo no está en las opciones, pueden dibujar o hacer su emoji o GIF propio. El siguiente es los usos de los rompehielos, porque sabemos que el span de atención o attention span of our students only lasts 15 to 20 minutes, no? So I divide my classes into bloques. Cambio el entorno o el environment, no? Every 15 to 20 minutes. And some of the rompehielos that I use are memory games, o puede ser luego de verdadera o mentira, nunca he hecho, o también cambio el tema. Pregunto a mis alumnos también algunas preguntas como para repasar, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Cómo es tu mamá? Hay muchos, ¿no?, rompehielos que podemos utilizar en nuestras clases para activar de nuevo el interés y la motivación de nuestros alumnos cada 15 o 20 minutos. Claro. Siguiente es la libertad de los alumnos. Sabemos que algunas cosas o actitudes que matan la creatividad es la falta de libertad o el exceso de crítica o autocrítica. Por eso en mis clases yo doy a mis alumnos la libertad para hacer, por ejemplo, un proyecto de cualquier manera que quieran. Y por ejemplo, si doy una tarea final a mis alumnos, yo proveo una plantilla, sí, pero eso solo sirve como una guía a mis alumnos, pero mis alumnos tienen la libertad. Por ejemplo, cuando di a mis alumnos una actividad para hacer una libreta de emociones, ¿no? Algunos de mis alumnos hicieron un booklet utilizando el app en la web, y algunos también utilizaron el PowerPoint y algunos el vídeo. Y de esta manera yo puedo desarrollar la creatividad de mis alumnos. Y sí, sabemos that creativity is one of the 21st century skills that we need to develop among our students. So when we give them the freedom, we are not too strict, no? And they have the chance to show their or develop their creativity. El último es los finales con impacto. Cuando acaba el año académico o el semestre, podemos dar a nuestros alumnos una actividad con impacto, donde se integran las competencias claves y que también sirve como un recuerdo, pero de manera digital. Por ejemplo, camiseta, taza, almohada o bolso, y donde mis alumnos también escriben un mensaje en esta cosa para integrar, ¿no?, las competencias claves que ellos o ellos aprendieron durante el año. Como veis, ¿no?, en el video, mis alumnos prepararon cosas diferentes para regalar a sus amigos, pero siempre contiene un mensaje donde se integraron las competencias claves. The next challenge that I encountered was how to maintain the motivation and interest and how to keep my students' participation during classes. And of course, I learned how to use some digital tools or digital materials to keep their interest. En mis clases sincrónicas yo utilizo el Zoom porque en el Zoom podemos anotar o yo puedo anotar los documentos que yo comparto a mis alumnos y también mis alumnos pueden anotar o contestar utilizando el annotation app o annotation button en sus gadgets, ¿no? Y también cuando quería que mis alumnos trabajen por equipos o por pares, yo puedo hacerlo también por el breakout room. Y cuando quería saber también la opinión de mis alumnos sobre una pregunta en el mismo tiempo, yo utilizo el Mentimeter, como por ejemplo, voy a escribir una pregunta y mis alumnos van a contestar solo, por ejemplo, una palabra. Utilizo el Mentimeter y yo puedo saber sus opiniones. También para hacer mis clases sincrónicas y asincrónicas, yo utilizo el EducaPlay, donde mis alumnos pueden aprender y jugar al mismo tiempo. En EducaPlay yo preparé algunos materiales como memory games, puzzle, dictado o word search, algo así. Actually, in EducaPlay, there are other materials prepared by other teachers. But of course, as a teacher, I would like to prepare my own materials, so I would be sure that they really fit the needs and interests of my students. Para las actividades colaborativas, yo utilizo el Padlet. ¿Conocéis el Padlet, no? El Padlet, ¿no? Yo puedo subir, ¿no?, un material o una imagen, o también mis alumnos pueden subir sus trabajos propios y pueden comentar también o hacer comentarios sobre los trabajos de sus compañeros. Y otra pizarra colaborativa que yo también utilizo es el Linoit Board, ¿no? El Linoit Board es atractivo porque tiene memo pads, ¿no?, con diferentes colores y yo puedo subir un vídeo, una imagen, ¿no? Y también mis alumnos pueden trabajar por grupo y cada grupo puede elegir un color para que cada grupo tenga su color propio, como veis, ¿no?, en el video. Y luego os voy a explicar cómo hacerlo. I also have my video channel where I upload my video lessons because these videos are very heavy, no? In YouTube, and they're just there. They would be there forever if it won't be hacked. Pues nada, eso es todo lo que quería compartir con vosotros. Ahora vamos a seguir con la siguiente parte, el mini tutorial. Pero antes de nada, gracias de nuevo. Podéis seguir. Seguimos por el vídeo, por favor. Irme paso a paso mientras os explico. ¿Claro? Alright, so we start with Mentimeter. Okay, we type the mentimeter.com and then enter. And And if you do not have an account yet, you need to sign up, and you may use your Gmail account to sign up. But for me, since I already have my account, I will use my presentations. Okay, and then click New Presentation. So I'll put a name for my presentation. Let's say Jornadas. Then, okay. So in here, we can choose activities that we would like to prepare. But for now, I'll choose word cloud. Okay. So it says here your question. So you need to type your question. But for now, I'll just copy and paste because I already have my ready-made question. Okay, there. In here, we have entries per participant. You can modify how many times would you like a participant to answer. For now, I will put 1. You can also add an image if you want, but for now, I don't want to add an image. I don't need it. So all I have to do is present. There. Okay? So this is now our code. Let's see. If I would like this to share with my students, I'll just copy the link, and let's see, and let us see how it looks like on the screen of the students. Okay, so here it is. ¿Por qué quieres enseñar español? So suppose I'll answer oportunidad, and then, and there. Okay, so there we are. We go back to my screen and let's see. Okay, here's my answer, oportunidad. And as you can see, there's a number here on the lower right hand corner. It indicates how many students have participated or have answered the question already. Okay, so if all your students have answered already, then you can download the results, or you can reset results so you can use it in your other classes. There, and then just present it anew. Okay, and so there you have a new presentation again, ready for other sets of students. Vale? Es muy fácil, ¿no? Okay, you wanna try? You get this code and answer the question. Esta pregunta es para vosotros, ¿no? ¿Por qué quieres enseñar español? Okay, and try to answer. Bueno, paramos un poco para hacer una práctica, ¿no? Okay, ahora os voy a compartir mi pantalla y intentamos contestar también esta pregunta, ¿vale? Aquí está el código, ¿no? Podéis, ahora veis, ¿no? Ok. Aquí está el código, podéis copiar el código, the link, ¿no? And you can try to answer this also. ¿Por qué quieres enseñar español? Solo por 1 minuto o menos, ¿no? Para que podamos practicar. Okay. You go to mentimeter.com and then go to join presentation. You enter this code. Okay, voy a copiar, ¿no? El enlace y voy a pegar en el chat. Intento. Okay. Muy bien, ¿no? Que algunas no han contestado ya la pregunta. Bueno, lo veis que la palabra más grande que aparece aquí en la pantalla es la palabra que más frecuente contestada. The most frequent answer would appear to be the biggest here. Okay, so cultura, me encanta la lengua y también para compartir. Algo así, ¿no? Bueno, podéis continuar contestando, ¿no? En el Mentimeter. Okay. Seguimos con el vídeo. Okay, so the next is the Educa Play. As usual, we type it and then click enter. And if you do not have an account, you need to sign up also. But for me, I already have an account, so I'll just click new activity. Okay. We have here a lot of choices. What kind of activity we would like our students to do. For now, I'll choose memory game. Okay. And then choose language, Spanish, of course, right? And for the title, I'll put las preposiciones. For a brief description, I'll put bicar cosas, por ejemplo. Then, on this part, we just skip. And then for the knowledge area, we put here, okay, foreign language. And then, for my audience, I'll put 14. Their age is around 14 to 15, no? Okay, and then I'll click next. Okay, there. We can edit this also. Set up the general data, no? So for time limit, I don't want to put a time limit. And then for the attempts, I'll make it 4, for example. And then hide cards, of course, we need to hide because it's a memory game. And then for the size, I'll just use medium. Okay. So we are now ready to add our question. So for this time, you can choose whether to use text, image, or a recording. If you click the recording, okay, you can choose a recorded file or you can automatically record on the spot. Okay, but for now, I won't choose the recording, but I will choose the text. I already have a ready-made sentence here, so I'll just copy. Okay, and then paste. And then next. Okay, so for the other side, I will use an image. Okay, so I will choose file. It's encima, no? Okay, encima del vaso está aquí. Okay, there. And then I'll click finish. Next question. So again, I'll choose text. And then I'll copy. This time, el bolígrafo está detrás, no? Del vaso. So I'll just paste and click next. Alright, so again in this column, I'll use an image. So detrás, no? Del vaso. Click finish. We just repeat the same procedure, no? Depends how many items would you like to prepare or to make for your students, okay? And now we're done. So only 5 items, no? But it says here, we need to add labels, no? So we can publish this activity. So I will add, for example, las preposiciones. Okay. And then another one, let's say enfrente, any word related to your activity that you would like to include will do. So now we have 3 labels already. And now my activity is ready to be published. So I'll click this, publish activity. Okay, so the activity is already published. Let us see how it looks like now on the screen of the students. Okay, so may I try? Al lado del vaso. Bueno, no está. Yo puedo, pero no. Algo así, no? Okay, let's try for another one. I hope I can get this. Oh, still wrong. So, when a student gets the correct answer, enfrente, no? I think this is the enfrente. There! Okay, so I get a correct answer or I have a correct match. Very easy, no? That's it. If you would like your students to answer, just copy the link here in the address bar and paste it in any LMS you are using. So that's it. Okay, finally we have the Linoid. Okay, we type the linoid.com, then enter. Again, you need to sign up if you still do not have an account here. Okay, so this is the interface of the Linoid. In here, you need to sign up, but you can use your Gmail account to sign up. Okay, or you can log in. So this time I will log in because I already have my account. Okay, so here are my canvases, no? Canvases I use and I am using. Okay, so here I'll click create a new canvas. Alright, and then I'll put a name for the canvas. For example, Jornadas. Okay, and then I'll choose a background. Maybe I would like this. And then you have to check these details for my own use. Now, of course, I will check everyone may post stickies because this is for my class. And then notify me, I don't want this. Show canvas on the dock. Yes, create a sticky via email. No, I don't want that. And then list on public canvas. Okay, allow guests to post stickies. So for this time, I'll allow so everyone could post. Okay, create a canvas. Okay, so here is how the Linoid board looks like. So it has different memo pads here. You can choose any color you want, or you can assign a color per student group. Okay, and you can upload image here. Just click this and then you choose the image you want to upload. I'll cancel because I'm not uploading an image. Or you can also paste a video link here. You can also attach a file if you wish, okay? But for now, I would like to post a question, okay? So, I'll just copy again my ready-made question here. This is a sort of review of the pasado. Por ejemplo, no? Okay? Hiciste ayer, okay? And I will paste it and then you can also choose what font color you want. Okay, you want red, green, or you want it blue, algo así, no? But for now, I'll choose el negro. Okay, and then of course, you click post there, and you can move this sticky anywhere, no? On canvas. You can also for example, this, edit, if you want to change your question, okay, and then just click save, or you can also set a due date if it is an activity, no, or you can also send this sticky, if you want to send this sticky, okay, you put the email of the recipient, okay, or you can also copy to another canvas. If you have more than one canvas, you can copy. And if you don't want this stick anymore, you can peel off. Okay, just click this. Okay, look at this. When I peel it off, so it's gone. Okay, so I'll make another one, for example. Okay, I'll choose the pink. Okay, and then I'll post for the second time. Okay, you can actually move this anywhere you want, or you can also pin this. Okay, just hover and there is a pin. Okay, and when you press it, okay, it's pinned. So if it is pinned, it can no longer be moved. And it is easy. If you would like to unpin, just click Okay, and the sticky is already unpinned. And you can also tilt this in any position you want, like that, okay, or like this, okay. So if you want a particular group of students to answer this question, for example, you tell them to use, for example, the pink memo pad there, okay, and then let's put, for example, an answer here. I'll copy, Control-C, and then of course I'll paste there. Ayer escuché música, and then I'll post. Okay, and the students could put their answers below the question. And you can also have another color for another question. Okay, for example, your question is, ¿Cómo te sientes hoy? Okay, and then you post it. Okay, and you will assign another group of students to answer, and you let them use also, or you let them choose, no, which color do they want to use per group, so you can easily identify. Okay, so for example, I'll answer, me siento relajada. Okay, aquí, no, so cada pregunta es un color diferente. All your students could also answer all your questions, but they have to use different color per question. Muy fácil, no? And then if you want your students to post their answers too, okay, so just copy this link on the address bar, and then you paste it the same way in the LMS you're using. Okay, you wanna try, you can answer this question, ¿qué hiciste ayer? Y también, ¿cómo te sientes hoy? Bueno, eso es todo. Espero que hayáis aprendido algo. Gracias de nuevo y hasta el próximo.
Gracias, Ms. Sison. So the use of digital tools will surely help maintain the interests of our learners in learning a foreign language during the new normal. And as for the Department of Education, learning must continue regardless of the situation. So let's give a warm round of applause, virtual round of applause to Ms. Gladys Sison. So this time we open the floor for questions from our participants. So if you have questions, kindly place them in our chat box so that our speaker may be able to address them. We have the Q&A chat box where you can post your answers. Or your questions rather. So there's one question in our chat box. So the question is, how long does it take for you to prepare for one class using the tools that you have presented earlier?
Well, actually, I don't use those tools in one session. No, so I only use, for example, the Mentimeter is, it will only take a minute or maybe less than 5 minutes to prepare, as long as the questions are already prepared, the things you're going to put in the Mentimeter. And I use that mostly for the motivation. And for the Educa Play, that is used under my asynchronous classes when I would like my students to play and at the same time learn. Not too much time is consumed. I need to like this online materials.
Thank you very much, Miss Sison. So another question. ¿Cómo está seguro que nuestro alumno no usa el Google Translate?
Sí, en las clases en línea, sí, that's one of the challenges, no, that they really translate. But what I do in my classes is especialmente for the activities that are for grading purposes. I include in the rubric if they use words, especially the conjugation of the verbos, which they have not yet learned. It would be more of a minus than a plus for them. And in that case, my students could minimize translating their answers, because as professors, no, we really identify who among our students are using Google Translate, especially in the conjugation of verbos. If they, for ejemplo, grade 7 and they're using the IA, like for example, trabajaba, tenga, algo así, yes, sabemos.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sison. So, in as much as we wanted to accommodate all the questions that you have posted in our chat box, we are bounded by time, and we are to choose 2 more questions for Ms. Sison. So, me gustaría saber cuántas horas dedican a la clase de español lengua extranjera a la semana.
Well, en nuestra modalidad ahora, ¿no? Solo 1 hora por semana en the synchronous class, en la clase sincrónica, pero también utilizamos el Google Classroom, donde subimos los materiales, postamos los materiales que nuestros alumnos necesitan contestar, por ejemplo, otros materiales que necesitan estudiar, it's the asynchronous, ¿no? Learning, and then we meet solo 1 hora in synchronous class for Zoom.
Last question, Ms. Sison, how do you encourage your the participation of your students, particularly the passive ones, and for those who are using modular learning or modular distant learning?
Oh, we have actually the digital modular is they use the Google Classroom. The only difference between the online modality and the digital is the online has both the Google Classroom and the synchronous class, while the digital only they only have the Google Classroom. They don't have the synchronous class. But to make sure for the participation of my students, for example, in my synchronous class, since we only have a few number of students, let's say 19, 20, something like that, I make sure that each student can participate in my class. I call the name, or sometimes I use the ruleta. And algo así, they enjoy it, and everyone is encouraged to participate. Then in the digital, we also have although we don't have the synchronous classes, no, we have the consultation hours, we have the GC, and they have my contact also, that when they have questions, they could ask me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sison. So there you have it. Now, just a reminder for all of our participants in this webinar, please don't forget to click the link in the chat box for your attendance. So it is already in the chat box that we have. So please be reminded that in order for you to receive your certificate of participation in this Jornadas, 6 out of 8 webinars must be attended. So if you're interested in receiving a certificate, kindly click on the link and fill in the form. So the attendance for this webinar is already in our chat box.